Hi everyone, Leon here. Welcome back to my channel, the channel that inspires learning. Now, in my previous video, I shared with you the secretion of oxytocin in our bodies can make us feel love. And what are some of the ways that we can increase or release oxytocin in our bodies? In this video, I'm going to share with you what are some things that are actually preventing or interfering with our intention to feel love. First of all, we have to understand that emotion and stress are different things. And this is one of the main takeaways I have from this book. Now, most of us would have agreed that emotion and stress are different things, right? But what is it that we tell the person when we see someone goes into a rage, goes out of control? We tell them to control their emotions, right? But what is happening in this case is not emotions, it's actually the inability for that person to manage their stress. Because when stress takes over, we go into our biological response reflexes like fight, flight, or freeze. Therefore, it is stress that cause all these behaviors and not emotions. So, for some of us who experience high level of stress or goes into depression and we seek medical attention, the doctor will usually prescribe medication or advise us to go for therapy. The advice is actually to opt for therapy first or make lifestyle changes instead of taking medication, unless your case is very serious. If not, medication, even though it can give us a faster result of numbing our undesired emotions, it cannot choose which emotions to numb. And it will numb all the emotions at the same time. And that is why it's one of the reasons how it can interfere with our ability to feel love. Now, even without medications, if we frequently suppress our feelings and emotions, we are essentially building up a wall or barrier, which is called "you can't hurt me." But at the same time, we do not understand that this wall is also called "I can't feel love." Because when we build up this wall, it not only blocks out the undesired emotions from coming to us, it also blocks out the desired emotions which we want to come to us. Therefore, we will feel numb and it interferes with our ability to feel love. To understand this better, we have to know that emotions come in a mixture. Means it doesn't just happen alone. Now, for example, if you are a parent and you're waiting for your child who is supposed to be home like hours earlier, at this point of time, you will experience emotions like anger, fear, and love all at the same time because you're angry that why is your child not calling you, or why hasn't your child informed you that he or she is coming back late? And you are fearful because you don't know if something bad has happened to him or her. And when he or she is finally home, you are so relieved to see them. So, every emotion has a purpose, even the undesirable ones. It exists to tell us something. Now, I'm not sure if you have watched the movie Inside Out by Pixar before. It is an excellent movie. It is an animation, and people may think that it's for kids, but actually it has so much educational value that teaches us the value of each emotion and what each of them is telling us. So it is very helpful if we can acknowledge all the emotions that we are feeling right then, even the undesirable ones, so we can learn what they are telling us instead of blunting it or suppressing or avoiding it. Because when we diminish any emotions, we are building the strength to diminish all emotions, including the ones we want to feel. Okay, just to add on to the medication part earlier, Dr. Ginny mentioned that in the 1980s, medication is so popular because it seemed to curb mental conditions so effectively and so well. And she believed in it until her daughter's incident broke that belief. However, medication is still the fastest way to implement for severe cases which pose a danger to themselves or the public. For example, you see people who goes into a rage or flip tables and all that, run out here shouting and causing hurt to others. These serious cases where medication can quickly suppress that stress level or emotions that the person has. Otherwise, opt for therapy or lifestyle changes, because medication shouldn't be taken for life to suppress the emotions that you have, because it will severely suppress all other emotions that you have, including the ability to feel love. The second way that could interfere with our ability to feel love is the virtual connections that is increasingly dominant in our lives. We spend more and more time online right now. And I'm not sure if you noticed, even though we can do video calls or FaceTime, it is just not enough to transmit that true intensity of love. Let me give you an example. My 3 cute little nieces stays in Australia, and whenever they came over, they will run and hug me and kiss me and ask me to play with them. But whenever they're back and we do Skype, it's so difficult to get their attention. Like, they will be doing their own things, they'll be running here and there, watching TV and stuff like that. It's just not enough to feel that love that we have for each other when they are here. I'm not sure if some of you out there has children or grandchildren that you have to Skype call them or FaceTime them. This would be one of the issues that you could be facing, isn't it? Even though video calls has given us the ability to see and hear each other, but in terms of other senses like smell, touch, and taste, it's limited online. I'm still grateful for this invention because it's the second best way where I can keep in connection with my nieces as well as my girlfriend who is in Malaysia. Even though we get to call each other every day, I still miss her a lot, and it just cannot replace the love that we have or experience when we are physically with one another. The third way is overthinking, and overthinking can lead to not enough loving. Our mind is like a double-edged sword, depending on how we use it. When we do too much of planning, strategizing, worrying, and multitasking, and especially multitasking when we feel that we are doing more, research have actually shown that people who frequently multitask are less able to focus and experience even more stress. Therefore, when we are lost in thinking too much, we will not notice that our life has begun to feel more like a burden instead of joy, because we have shifted so much of focus to our thoughts instead of our feelings. And the longer we're in this state, the more numb our feelings are. Some of you may ask, what about spending time alone with our thoughts? Isn't reflecting supposed to be good for us? Now, that is why I mentioned that our mind can be a double-edged sword, depending on how we use it. Thoughts inspired by excitement is very different from thoughts created from fear. The author mentioned something interesting and noteworthy here. She says, to be smart, we have to remain uncertain. Wow. I find that this is really very interesting, and another big takeaway from me in this book. Because think about this, so many of us want things to be certain. We want our jobs to be certain, we want our relationships to be certain, we want this to be certain, that to be certain, everything to be according to our plan. What happens if this is the case. This is the most scariest way to live, because your life will be bored to death. You know that this is going to happen every single day. There is no surprise at all. And when things happen that is not to what we expect, we don't know what to do. And you're not going to feel any emotions when this carries on long term. We will not feel happy, surprise, love, and so on. It is the uncertainty in life that is moving us along. And the only constant is change. I'm sure you have heard that before. And because of that, there's the variety of things in life that we can look forward to. Okay, so now that we know what are some of the things that are preventing or interfering with us feeling love, let's take a look at some of the tools and skills that we can use in order for us to feel love. If you're interested, hit the subscribe button or the notification bell to be informed of my next release on this. In the meantime, you may wish to check out my learnings from other books like The 5 Love Languages, Start With Why, and Contagious. I hope this video has brought value to you. If you like this video, do subscribe to my YouTube channel for weekly learnings on the books I've read in relationship, business, and personal development. Or share it with a friend you care about, because when you share, you're not just sharing a video, you're sharing content that could make a difference in people's lives. I thank you for watching, wish you well, and see you in the next video.